The small and medium-scale enterprises as SMEs remains the backbone of major developed economies, as well as important contributors to employment, economic and exports growth. In Nigeria, there are more than 40 million MSMEs, employing over 80% of the country's population and contributing about 50% of the country's GDP. Before the outbreak of the unprecedented global pandemic, the SME space in Nigeria played a significant role in contributing to the Nigerian economy through increased productivity, enhanced economic output, while simultaneously improving the day-to-day welfare of citizens. But with the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, the biggest threat to the survival of these businesses central to the economy lies in their fiscal approach to interact and transact with their consumers and partners. The COVID-19 pandemic has inevitably changed the way businesses are done, and for operators in the SME space, experts say leveraging on technology will help them maximize the opportunities that will most certainly present themselves once the pandemic is contained. Well, I have joining me live in the studio to have an insightful chat on our first topic of discuss is the National President of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASME, Mr. Degun Agwade. Good afternoon. It's good to have you in the studio, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers.
All right.
It's nice to be here.
Yes, so it's good to see you, sir. I'm going to start this way. Before COVID, I know there were already some challenges. COVID now struck. It made it worse. Take us through how it's been and what the situation is at the moment.
Thank you so much. You summarize it all. Before COVID, SMEs were struggling. They were struggling. But when COVID came and COVID struck, then it took us to ground zero, if you want to describe it like that. A lot of our members that own shops, they rent shops all over the place, they cannot go there. They couldn't go there. The rents were mounting, and a lot of disruptions in communication, in transportation, in supply chain. You know, even at that time, pharmaceutical companies were giving, some companies were giving.
Yeah.
Even those companies could not work, you know, at maximum level because they needed people to support, to bring in the input that they will use. So, but it's been traumatic. It's been traumatic, and it's a difficult situation that requires a serious solution and attention to bring it back to what we used to be before even you talk of moving up.
Because when we talk about, before we move to solutions, I'd like to also talk about, you mentioned something very importantly, some pharmaceutical companies were supported by the central bank. Meanwhile, I know some SMEs, some funds too were put out for SMEs. I know we had 150 billion naira fund, and I think in the economic sustainability plan, there's also a plan for small businesses. Are these funds coming out? Are people accessing it? Are your members getting out of these funds?
Well, the truth of the matter is that maybe the government has good intentions by rolling out those plans. But the truth of the matter is that the funds were not coming out. We were unable to assess it as it's supposed to be. They were too slow, and coming out, you know, too slow as well. For pharmaceuticals in this country today, because that's my area.
Okay, sir.
We have about 96, 98 manufacturing companies, pharmaceuticals, in this country today. Because we belong to manufacturers association, so we have the figures. Out of this, you can count the number of those that got on your fingertips. Well, what we were told, okay, I think the truth of the matter was that there was no fund to support the program as such. And as a result of that, a lot of us were unable to access or to get. Then when you talk of all these billions that you are mentioning for small and medium enterprises, probably, you know, the shout of billions, trillions, you know, make you feel one kind at times. But the way these figures sound, it's not the way we are having them. You know, and okay, see the 50 billion MSME support fund. I mean, I have the privilege to be the president of Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASME, as of today. Out of us, we are in 36 states. Okay, so a lot of our members that applied, we tried to collate the names of those that applied, and we got about 160. But you can even imagine that 160, and out of this 160, probably like not up to half of that number got. But what the take home the lesson we learned from that this time around, it was not to one state or zone.
Okay.
Okay. Our members in south we call northeast, northwest, good. Southwest. We have this token, all of them token. But maybe it's the income that the government also planned to have that has not been coming the way they expected it. But the plans are good, the intentions are good, but delivery put some questions on how we can improve on that, maybe for next time, you know. And except we have that, the support is required. We may not be able to move from here.
Are you having these talks? You're the president of NASME, also manufacturers and all of you in that business community. Are you talking to maybe the likes of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Bank of Industry, all of these banks that are supposed to be development finance? I think those are the people that are supposed to support SMEs. How well are they interacting with you to know what the problems are so that they can address it head on? Before we talk about ease of doing business, because there was a time the vice president was trying to see instantly for the regulatory bodies, for all of them to try to see all of the hiccups, CAC. We can go on and on. You know that, sir.
Yes. Even on my way here, you mentioned, are they talking to us or are we talking to them? We are.
Okay.
We are. We are very close to each other. And of course, even as I was coming, I was having a webinar that EcoBank organized today. You know, our Honorable Minister of State was the guest of honor there. You know, so I participated until I got here. So we are close. The problems, not that the problems are not known. The problems are known. But the solution, I'm afraid, is the one that is not coming the way we think it should. Even for CBN, there are a lot of interventions, genuine, good interventions that if there had been money to support it, then I've been talking of another thing now. But some of them are just, probably they mention it, you don't hear anything about it again, and all that. Even this, the pharmaceutical, the pharma fund, which we talked about. 100
billion?
Billion.
Yes, 100 billion.
And you can imagine the number of people that we know ourselves. So the interventions are not coming. We mentioned them. Even the CBN has, if you can't, almost 16, 17 funding windows. But not many of these windows are opening, you know. So
let's look at the angle of job creation. You as NASME, you create a lot of jobs. Small businesses still create a lot of jobs despite all of these challenges. As we move on now, partly, let's say for Nigeria, we hopefully no third wave of COVID-19 like what's happening in India and other countries. What do you see? Do you see a gradual pickup, or what kind of pickup do you see for small businesses?
Well, like in many other climes, SME form the base of the economy, the strata, the foundation, okay, on which all other developments are. So that's why even in Nigeria, if you look at statistics, like you said in your preview, SMEs contribute over 50% to our GDP. And I tell you, even today, out of 10 jobs, 7 are created by MSMEs, which means 70% of jobs that we are creating, but it's through MSMEs. And look at, mind you, when you define what is an SME, number of employment is a quick one that we can understand quickly, okay? So we say anybody having one person up to 199, that's one below 200, okay, belongs to small and medium enterprise, okay? But that one is how again divided into 3, the medium, the small, and the micro. And the micro, like you know, and that you mentioned in your preview, is about 98 point something percent, more than 98% of the 41.5 million MSMEs in the country are micro. So what does that mean? It means that these are people that are unbanked, unregistered. Many of them don't even have bank accounts, like I said. And with all this, it will be difficult even for government to reach them. And if you are not rich, they cannot get to you, how can they help you? So it will be a while. When we get all these things right, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But it's a lot of job. It's a lot of attention. And one thing I must say is that this government is a listening one. When the COVID started, we wrote to them, we need some support. And mind you, out of 9 or 10 items that we put, they have come up with 6, So, but the execution of the 6, including this intervention fund, this product lifting, that is the byproduct from MSMEs, to create market for us and all that. And even the support fund, 30,000 that we're paying, payroll support, all these are there, and the plans are there, and gradually we're moving. But if some more funds are injected into it, then things will look better, and it will come out better too.
All right, we're going to continue this discussion. Let's take a break, and when we return, this discussion continues. It's Your Business Nigeria. Well, thank you for staying with us. We're still talking SMEs, and I have the president of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, ANASME, in the studio. Now, let's continue from where we stopped. Apart from all of these challenges, taxation, levies, and some infrastructure issues are also issues that SMEs grapple with. How far are we with all of this, even with the efforts of governments, particularly trying to revamp and, energize this very important sector? Any impact?
Thank you so much. Well, there have been some changes, some positive changes, like the current Kama Act and all that, where now if your turnover is not up to 20 million, okay, you are not supposed to pay tax. So that's one of the things. But what we're asking, what we think, you know, the one that wears the shoes, wears his pinches. What we're looking at is that why not give us a tax regime where you just pay once and for all? We are not saying we don't, MSMEs, they don't say they will not pay tax. We want to pay tax. Government need tax to develop all these areas, even the infrastructure we are talking about. But the way it is now, if it's left to the state to use their ways and caprices to determine how much you pay, there would definitely be duplication of taxes, tax payment. Now, if we are saying, okay, by the time you say, oh, you are complaining of tax multiplicity, they say, oh, that is not tax, it's levy. So put all levies, all tax into a basket. And determine who is an SME. Who can access that? And we pay based on that. And the same tax you pay here, if you have to take your vehicle from here to Kano, you will not be disturbed. Each state, when you move from state to state, you pay. In fact, if you're the one that carry your goods, tomato and all that, and even here, vegetables too, you get each state or local government, you get task force waiting for you. And by the time we say, oh, no, they say, no, it's a levy. But if we are taxed, put all taxes, all levies, all charges, call it any name, into a basket, and then now give us a percentage to pay of our turnover.
Yeah.
Simple.
Small.
And if you pay your tax in Lagos here as a small business person, you don't need to be harassed when you get to Kwara. But the government is doing it, gradually. And again, a lot of this free registration, that is supposed to be one of the things where government will know who we are, where we live, where we do our businesses. But unfortunately, our small business people are not willing to register. In fact, right now it's free registration. But we still have challenges in convincing our people, the way we think before. Tax, when you hear tax collector is coming, you go out by the window, So, but now things are changing. We are telling them now, look, you need to register your business. Even when government want to help you, how would they? When you want to open an account and you don't have, so how do you, but it's a whole gamut of problems, but I believe, however big or however complex the situation may look, when you start and you take them one by one, eventually you will overcome.
Let's wrap up on, do we have quick wins? Do we have, what can government do so that we can quickly continue to, the benefits of SMEs development? Of course, if you do more business, you pay more tax. So what are the quick wins?
Quick win, the first one that I can point out is government the free registration. We should give it better publicity. We should take it on a different platform, which we can suggest to government, right? To get everybody registered. The quick win is that when that is done, then it will not be difficult for government to tailor whatever intervention that you get to us through even the market money, which you are familiar with. Well, of course, the sporadic nature and all that. But if you have all of us, this is what we are telling our people. But government should now encourage us, the MSMEs, to come out and volunteer to register. That is number one. If we do, it's even not the money that registration will cost, because it's free. You will have your address, your telephone number, and email, and then you'll be able to. So that's one. Two, government should, as a matter of urgency, increase what they brought out to be intervention fund for genuine
operators
of MSMEs.
Yeah.
I mean, that
That's
one
true.
came, but it was so small and so short the time it came. Okay, even if it's not going to be 3 months, if it's one month for each, let it cover a wider ground. And people that participated in that, they are very grateful, and we are grateful to government, but we are saying they should increase that kind of opportunity to reach everybody.
I know we can go on and on when it comes to SMEs and you, but on television, time is never afraid. Thank you very much for spending your time with us, Prince Degun Begunde. He's the president of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises. And you can see everything about him has to do with small businesses. So passionate about it. I appreciate your time this afternoon. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
I'm grateful.
All right.
Thank you.